All right, hey guys, happy Easter. Thank you all for being here tonight. I know that it's a busy time. I know a lot of people are probably going to watch this on the replay. Totally understandable. I just, there was part of me that was like, oh, it's Easter. And I was like, no, we got to stick to the schedule. We got to stick to the plan. So here we are, sticking to the plan. So before we kick off our planning for the week, I think it's just always so important. I know, like, if you're doing the power plan during the week, we do this on the daily. But just in honor of what today is and of all the opportunity that lies ahead in this upcoming week, I want us to spend just 2 minutes jotting down what we're grateful for. What are you grateful for that happened today? What are you grateful for that happened last week? What are you grateful for that happened maybe for your family or for some friends or for your business? Like, just get your brain going and just let's start from a place of gratitude. So I'm looking at the clock. It's 7:01. We got 2 minutes to start writing. And I bet you all have a lot to write down.
Oh, yeah.
If you're just hopping on, we're doing some couple minutes of quick gratitude. All right, you guys can totally keep writing while I'm talking. I just want to, obviously keep things moving because it's a holiday, so I don't want to keep you guys on here longer than we need to. Okay, so here on Eastern time, it is 7 o'clock. That means we have little under 4 hours left to take advantage of the stimulus bonus. And you guys, it's the last 4 hours, so I can only say one thing, and that is on Tuesday when your paycheck comes, you need to look at that and say, I tried my damnedest. And there's nothing else to say. If you didn't try for it, that is insane. Businesses are closed. People have lost their jobs. Even people that have jobs right now are nervous about keeping their jobs. And Lavelle gave you the opportunity to earn 50% extra on your paycheck. So whether it happens for you or not, here's the push. Let's say you push, and you get $1,000 in new orders and you're like, I didn't get the bonus. You still got $1,000 in new orders. Like, that is not something to be sad about, right? But if you are sitting there going, yeah, I didn't try because it seemed too hard, then like I've said before, you're probably hanging out with the wrong girl on Zoom, because that is not the attitude we take around here. It's, what is it? Go big, go home, dive in all in, do what you have to do, seal the deal, whatever, however you word it. This was a huge opportunity. And I know some people are like truly working right now for this too. So I just want to throw that out there. If you're one of them working for it, do not give up. You have 4 hours. Does that mean you might stay up until midnight? Yeah, I know. And it might be hard, but it'll be worth it. I promise it'll be worth it. And if you're one of them that were like, I don't know if I should, it seems like a lot of work, nobody's buying anything, you're wrong. If you look on Facebook and you look at some of the team pages, people are hitting the stimulus package. Some people hit the stimulus package within 2 or 3 days of it coming out. It's not that people aren't buying, it's that you weren't working it, right? So dive in with the 4 hours you have left and do what you can do, because like I said, no matter what, everything that you sell for the next 4 hours goes towards your paycheck Tuesday. So whether you get a bonus or not, you're getting paid on it on Tuesday. So work your pahootie off. Just don't wake up Tuesday and be like, man, I wish I had tried a little harder, right? So let's talk about some of our reach outs this week. I always look ahead at the whole week for our planning on Sunday night, and I see what's coming up this week that we could be talking about to people. Like what are great excuses? Today's the 12th. I won't see you guys again until the 19th. What are great excuses that are happening this week to reach out to people? Well, number one, for the next 4 hours, you can easily send a message and say, hey, how was your Thanksgiving? Oh my God. Say, how is your Easter going? Right? Wrong holiday. Say, how is your Easter going? Pretty much for the rest of the week, anyone you've not made contact with, the simple question is, hey, how was your Easter? Said tax day being moved. Yeah, heck yeah. Is that what you're grateful for? Or just talking to people about it. Yeah, that would be like, you could use tax day being moved. You can make a poll out of that on your stories, who's excited that it got moved. Tom and I were just talking about that today. Like for us, because we own businesses and we typically owe, to us, we were like, sweet, it got moved. But then I was like, I wonder, like, people who are getting a refund back, I hope that didn't mess them up, because that's probably going to be, that's the total opposite feeling that we have. But yeah, you could talk to people about tax day. And like I said, pretty much any day this week, it could be like, how was your Easter? Like, you have probably hundreds of friends on Facebook or in your contacts message, whatever it is. Just start with the ABCs tomorrow. How was Easter? DEFs. How was Easter on Tuesday? Just keep going through the list. Ask questions. Like the holiday is a perfect excuse to ask questions. And the other one, you guys, and again, part of me feels like we've been on this quarantine COVID thing for like months. But when I really look, it's just been a few weeks, and I have not made contact with everybody yet. So I am still finding contacts in my phone or in my Facebook that I have not reached out to yet to be like, hey, how are you guys doing? One of the things I've been asking people a lot is, are you doing okay? Are you still able to work right now? Everybody wants to tell you if they are still working, they want to tell you that they're working, how they're able to work, whether it's at home or still having to go in. If they're scared, which I hate, but if they're scared of going into work, and then if they're not working, they want to tell you that. So that is a wonderful conversation to have with people. And also, guess what? They always ask me, are you still working? And my personal answer is yes and no. No, our business is completely shut down. We have employees having to file for unemployment. I totally understand the stress that this other person is going through. But thank heavens, I still have my side business with Lavelle because I'm still making an income. So it's a double question. It's something I truly want to know. I mean, obviously these are people I know and care about. So I want to have this conversation, but it's also all of you, whether you are still working or not, you can answer that question. Yes, I am. And thank heavens, even though things at work are weird, I'm still have my side gig. Or no, I'm not. I'm on a stay-at-home order right now, but thank heavens I still have my Lavelle side gig. I'm not saying it's going to turn into an order. I'm not saying it's going to turn into a promoter, but it is a reason for you to bring up the fact that you have this amazing job and you are still able to work it. So that's my thoughts on that one. And then on tax day, what would have been tax day, that's an auto ship day. Please, please, please go through your reports. We do this every time. Log into your account, go to my customers, scroll over to the far right. You'll see a button that says next auto ship. Click that button twice and it will populate. It'll show you who has an auto ship coming up on the 15th. For the love, do not let somebody have an auto ship run that they are not prepared for. Now is not the time for somebody to get a charge on their account. It is such a high stress moment that even the most rational, calm person could totally flip a switch on you, right? Everybody is on edge. People are strung tight. And seeing money go out that they forgot about, that's not a good feeling. And so, yes, we're all adults. We've placed orders. We should know the agreements that we've made. I mean, if you have your mortgage on auto withdrawal and you forget, that's not the bank's problem, right? However, you have a customer. They are your friend. They are your colleague. They are somehow connected to you. Do the customer service. It takes 3 seconds to click those buttons and find out who they have. Reach out to them and just say, hey, your auto ship's getting ready to come out. Now's a great time. With the seasons changing, now's a great time to think about a new pattern, a new flavor, maybe even a whole new DFT. If you've been having like, let's say here's why it's so important to do your day-to-day communication. If you've been talking to a customer and just maybe last week said, how are you doing? How are things going? Are you hanging in there? And they wrote you back about all the stress they're under. Now is the time to say to them, you know what? I've been thinking about you with your auto ship coming up. I think we should try Black Label. It'll really help, right? Or if they've been telling you, I've got all this downtime now and I don't know what the heck to do with it and I just cannot stay out of the refrigerator. Hey, I've been thinking about you. I think now's the time we switch your DFT to burn on your auto ship, right? So think ahead. That's why some of you are gonna be like, well, I haven't talked to these people. I have no idea. Well, talk to them tonight. Reach out tonight. How are you doing? How was your Easter today? Then put them on your follow-up for tomorrow. Hey, we were talking yesterday, or we were talking earlier, and that you mentioned XYZ, and I realized you have an auto ship coming out this Wednesday. Let's change it up. Let's try this instead, or let's add this item instead. Okay, a lot of people who are struggling right now, they might need balance. They might need Black Label. They might need, some people are in such a space that they're having trouble getting off the couch. Maybe give them some Activate. Talk to people about what they're struggling with because you have their solution. I say this every week. You have a solution to someone's problem. Your job is to find out what their problem is and then match the solution to it. You're not, yes, we sell stuff, but your job isn't to just go knock on doors and be like, try my pretty product. What is wrong with you? What are you struggling with? Here's a product I have that can help. If you look at your job that way, it's a million times easier. All right, so we got that. And then birthdays. Do not miss this opportunity to talk to people about their birthdays. This is the weirdest birthday they have probably had in quite some time. I think most of us probably just experienced or are still experiencing a very weird Easter. I just stood in my in-laws' driveway and, when it started to sprinkle for Easter, there was, we weren't sitting at a table. We weren't sharing a meal. Like we weren't doing the things that you do on a holiday. So, everyone's like, oh, this Easter stinks. Well, imagine it being your birthday on top of your Easter stinking. So reach out to people. I have just been sending out, when I see a birthday pop up, hey, oh my gosh, what a weird time to celebrate your birthday. How are you guys going to figure this out and do something fun at home? And people are writing back. They want to tell you the creative ideas they're having to celebrate their birthday. I'm getting a lot more, plus people have more time, but I'm getting a lot more people respond back to the birthday question than they ever have before because they are having to think about it. It's not like, oh, I think we'll grab dinner someplace. I don't know, we'll probably go out after work. It's like, no, like we ordered food from XYZ, or we went to Kroger on Saturday and we bought stuff that we're going to make on, whatever. So ask questions. Be so curious every time you talk to anybody about anything that you almost drive yourself nuts. Sometimes I just try to remind myself that if I can just come from a place of curiosity and ask a question, it'll turn into a conversation. I was just telling Sandra, we were talking, I think it was yesterday, and this is the perfect example too, because today you are going to see so many Easter pictures. And of course they're different. People aren't all with their family, but moms are still dressing kids up. Parents are still hiding eggs. They're going to have those pictures out there. I find myself all the time being like, oh my gosh, wow, they grew up so fast. And I say, and I would say things like, wow, I can't believe how big they are. Man, they're growing so quickly. If you stop there, okay, yep. But all you have to do is say, how old are they now? What grade are they in now? Make it a question. There's not a parent alive that does not want to talk about how old their baby is, whether their baby is 8 months or 18, right? Make it a question. Before you click enter and send off your comment or send off your message, you make sure that it ends with a question mark. I cannot drill that through your head enough. I'm missing chats. I'm sorry. Hang on. Sonia says, anyone getting a refund probably already had their paper. Well, I wondered that too. If people that were going to get a refund were like anxious and did it back in February. Livy said, I had a lot of people bummed out about not having anything to do on their birthday. So I think I'm going to start offering a one-day mini with a Black Label. Yes. Give them a solution to their problem. I love that. Okay. So something that I learned on a Kayla Fox Zoom earlier this week, and I know not everyone gets on them, and I know some of you may not even take the time to do the replays, but here's the deal. You're here with me right now, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to repeat it. So if you've heard this, great. If not, this might be new. She said this on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, she said this Friday morning at 7 a.m. and I had an order by 8:30, and by noon I had hit my bonus because of this. go into your Facebook Messenger and go to the search bar. I do this all the time. I search, I type in SON and I wait for Sonia's name to pop up, right? I type in LOR and I wait for Laura's name to pop up. I've just been searching for the people that I'm having the conversations with. I don't know why it never dawned on me. Go into the search and type in a keyword. Type in wait, type in sleep, type in ache. If you have had a conversation with anybody on Facebook Messenger since it was created, because all those messages are still in there, it'll find them for you. So I typed in the word weight because we've probably talked about gaining weight, losing weight, weight loss, weight control, whatever. I'm sure there's been word around it, but I know the word weight was in there. There were so many messages that popped up. Now I will tell you, the first couple were like messages from, the last 48 hours. I was aware of those people. And then a bunch of group chats popped up that I've been added to that weren't necessarily my customer. But then my customer group chats started popping up, and then my customer one-on-one started popping up. The girl who ordered first within that first hour and a half of me searching this and doing this was somebody who had ordered forever ago. And I still see her a lot. We talk a lot, but she just kind of dropped off of the Thrive world. But I remembered when I saw her name pop up that she had put on Facebook recently that she was working out. So I just reached out and I said, hey, if weight loss is still one of your goals, I have a promo code that's perfect for you. Are you still interested? She wrote back, you must be reading my mind. I was just thinking about getting back on Thrive the other day. What's the promo? But you guys, I had forgotten about her up until that point when she pulled back up in my messenger. So use your messenger. You probably have a backlog of conversations. And here's the thing. Let's say you're like, oh, that's not going to work. I'm a brand new promoter. I don't have conversations with people. Type it in. I bet you have had a conversation with a friend somewhere along the way where they brought up losing weight, gaining weight, wanting to fit in a different size dress, not sleeping good the night before because of a kid. Those keywords are going to show up in your conversation somewhere. But use that. It triggered so many conversations for me. Like it was just, I literally want to like send Kayla flowers and be like, thanks for that little tip because it rocked my business on Friday. So do that for sure. And then I'm checking my notes. Autoship, search. So I was mentioning this to someone the other day. I know a lot of us do our reach out sometimes on our phone, sometimes on our computer. When I'm on my computer, like when I say, okay, Tammy, I'm going to sit down for 10 minutes and do reach outs, I will go to Facebook, my personal profile, right? I'll pull up my friends and they're on the screen. I just literally start scrolling. As I see a name of someone I haven't talked to in a while, if you hover over that name and right click, you can say open in a new tab. So I just click that name, it opens it in a new tab. So I stay where I am, but there's another tab now open on my computer with that person's Facebook profile. I will keep going down that list till I get 10 to 15 new tabs open. And then I go to those tabs. So let's say I open up Sandra's tab. Right away, there's her face, there's her cover for her new profile picture, her latest post, and there's also her little message button. So if I haven't talked to her in a really long time and I have no idea what's going on in her life, I can do a real quick scan of her page, hit the message button, and respond to something. Hey, I saw you guys, I don't know, stood in your parents' garage for Easter. How are your mom and dad doing? Whatever, something like that. And then I can just X out of that. The next tab that pops up will be a friend. It's their Facebook page. So I feel like to me, that's just a real quick way of, instead of just clicking your friends list, clicking on that friend, going back to your friends list, having to scroll, click on that friend, go back to your friends list. This just gets them all up at the top of your computer and you can just go bam, 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 bam. And because it opens their Facebook page, within that first 2 seconds of you clicking that button, you see their picture, you see the last post they made, you automatically know what's going on. So I just wanted to share that because I don't know if that's something that everybody does and I'm late to the party, but that's how I've been trying to do it here recently. Plus the other nice thing is if I say, okay, Tammy, you have to open 15 tabs. Okay, you cannot get up from this chair until you talk to 15 people. You'd be surprised how fast I can talk to 15 people. Plus, it's already all up there. I don't even have to look for them. All the names are there. So anyway, that's just a thought. That's an idea I wanted to run past you. And we have about 10 minutes left. I want to hit on 2 things with you really quick. The first one is I want you guys to all open up whatever second device you have right now. I want you to get into your cloud, and I want you to tell yourself or write it on a sheet of paper or whatever you have to do. I want to know what your current volume is right now. Okay. So we're all going to log into our cloud. I'm going to do this on my phone. That's why I'm looking away. Logging in, scrolling down. All right. You are going to take, if you click business snapshot, for those of you that aren't sure exactly where to find it, you're going to find your current volume. It's right there under current QV. All right, today is the 12th of the month. So you're going to take your volume. You're going to divide it by 12. Oh, that's a little low for me. Now, based on that number, we came up with the number back on the first of the month, what your goal number should be every day of what you're selling. And I have that number right here on my calendar. So I know what my goal should be, and I know what I'm breaking at right now, what my rate of run is. So I'm a little bit low on where I want to go. So for those of you that aren't sure though, the number that you just came up with, so when you took your volume and you divided it by 12, whatever number you have, I want you to multiply that number by 30. Now, the number you're looking at right now is the number you are on track to hit by the end of the month. So if you have said, I am hitting 12K this month, and you're looking at that number and it says, well, are we halfway through the month? Let's say it says $4,000. I'm going to say you're a little bit below your goal, right? You need to make some changes. And only you know what those changes are. Do you need to be talking to a lot more people during the day? Do you need to be, well, that's really what it boils down to. Do you need to be talking to a lot more people during the day? That's our job as promoters, is to talk to people. So that's one way. But also, if you are looking at that number and you're above goal, if you thought you were going to end up at 12K and it's showing you that you're going to end up close to 20, you need to reassess. You need to make your goal higher. You need to keep pushing. It's kind of like the classic situation where somebody trains for a marathon. They train, they do it every day. So good. Months go by, they run the marathon, and then the next day they wake up and they're like, I don't know what to do today. I trained for the marathon and I did it. You gotta raise your goal. Don't finish one goal without another one after, because then that same marathon runner who just did her first ever marathon could very well never run again, right? You gotta pick another race. So if you've been chasing the 12K race and you realize you're past the 12K, you need to pick a bigger race. You need to be looking at 40K. If you've been chasing 40K and you're past that, you need to be picking 80K, right? So again, you're taking today's volume, you're going to divide it by 12, because today is the 12th day of the month. It's going to show you on average what you and your team have been doing per day. That number then you can take and multiply it by 30, because there are 30 days. That is where you are. That's where, if you stay at the rate you're at right now, that's where you're going to end up at the end of the month. So use this number. Take education from this number. Should you kick yourself, kick your team? What do you need? Take this number and use that. Now, with that said, I want to talk about something that I did with, dare I say, great success over the last couple of days. When I did the search and I was talking to people about weight loss and all that stuff, when I got into the conversation, the part of the conversation where they wanted to talk about price and what to order, I totally dove in headfirst with retail pricing. Okay, because here's the thing. If they want to hop on and create their own customer account and they want to start ordering and they don't know anything about auto ship, or they're not willing to do auto ship, the retail price is what comes up. So case in point, if you have a person who just wants to order capsules, mix, and DFTs, they're looking at $188 retail, okay? Now here's where you as a promoter can provide value. So if you're talking to someone, you can say, it's typically $188. However, I can help you get it for $150, plus I can get you a free box of shakes. Right? So right there, they're getting a free gift with purchase, and you've even reduced the price. How are you doing that? You're simply selling them on auto ship. That's it. I don't know why I have not thought this way I guess because I hadn't heard it till a couple weeks ago, but I've always thought about the $150, $5 a day, blah, 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 blah. And I get that. But now that we have these new packages where Lavelle is throwing in a free box of shakes, and the sheer fact that when somebody goes on auto ship, they're saving about 20%. Here's the thing, when you have conversations with people, if you start at 188, you can always work your way down, right? If you start at 150 and you want them to have the 3 steps, the only way you can work yourself down is by giving them free product or giving them credits, which is totally an option. Don't get me wrong. I've brought a lot of people. There are faces on this screen here that are here because I gave away a free product or I gave away credits. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to do that ever again. However, when I start somebody at 188 and I'm already throwing in a box of free shakes and I'm getting them 20% off, people are pretty quick to say, okay. I had 3 new customers on Friday, 3 brand new people on Friday who ordered the pack where they got the free shakes and they saved the 20%. Because when we started the conversation, we talked about 188. So think about that, you guys. Like, I made a graphics for my team so that they can understand it. And I should be able to, yeah, when I share this YouTube, I should be able to share the photo for those of you that want to know. I didn't actually like throw that. I mean, you could totally share that graphic with the customer because it does show you could get this or this. But I really want you guys to understand that if you are talking about the retail value of something, I mean, Kohl's does it to you every time. Do you not wait for your Kohl's coupon and like, oh, I better peel off and get a 30, right? I mean, when I get a 20, I am mad. When I get a 10, I throw it away. Or 15, I'm literally offended when I get a 15. I won't talk to Kohl's until my 30 shows up when they send me a 15. I don't even know what I want to buy yet from Kohl's. I just know I want the discount, right? So when I say to somebody, if, you know, we've had the conversation, here's what ails them, here's what I have to offer. Hey, if you're interested, I can get you 20% off plus a free product. It's gold. It's easy. I don't know. Again, it took a freaking pandemic for me to figure this out or finally listen or pay attention or put it into place. I don't know, but whatever, it's finally working. So keep that in mind, you guys. You as a promoter can offer value to a person. Like I've always said, you solve their problems. Well, one of their problems could be money. Well, guess what? As a promoter, you can save them 20% and get them a free product. You do not have to give away the farm to add new customers. And then listen to this. Here's the kicker. When the company throws out a promo for free balance for a new customer or free sculpt for a new customer, I used to be like, ugh, they got to spend 150 though to get the free balance, and I'm going to throw in credit, so it's going to be below 150. Like that was my conversation. I immediately was defensive of like, how am I going to get them to spend 150? Well, the conversations I had on Friday went a lot like, you know what? It's normally 180, 188, but I can get it to you for 150. I can get you a free box of shakes, and if you order before Friday night, I can throw in even a thing of Scald. Now, I looked so amazing, right? I looked like I was not only giving them free shakes, but I was giving them free Scald. So I'm just ashamed that it's taken me this long to just accept this verbiage. Like, think retail. Everyone lives in retail. That's why we're always looking for a sale. You don't have to be the sale. You as the promoter can bring them the sale. Are you going to have people go, yeah, but I don't want auto ship? You know what? I totally know how you feel. I have actually canceled credit cards before because I couldn't get out of the auto ship program. Lavelle's not like that. As soon as we hit your button, if you change your mind, we can go in and cancel your auto ship right away. Or we can just go in and pause it so you can make up your mind in a couple of weeks. I personally will contact you. I guarantee I will reach out to you and we will talk about this auto ship far before it happens. Again, that's customer service. And you guys all, I don't think that any of you would struggle to have that conversation because you guys have probably all at some time in your life been locked into some silly thing that you cannot for the life of you get out. Where there was even one time where my card just finally expired and they kept calling me wanting me to change my info. And I was like, no, I have finally gotten out of this program. Sandra says, okay, so Sandra, I have shouted her out, I think twice now today and for newbies. And she says, I don't give any credits on, don't, oh, you're saying don't. Let me back up. First of all, kudos. I have shouted her out twice because she's had 2 newbies. If you guys are working for the stimulus bonus that ends at midnight tonight, 11:59 Eastern, do not put credits on the order. So even if the order is $500, if you put 10 bucks of credits on it, it does not count for that stimulus bonus. It'll count for your commission, it'll count for your PPA, all that good stuff, but it will not count on your stimulus bonus, okay? So keep that in mind. But here's the thing, because of that, I was trying not to give credits on Friday, that's when I was like, what can I give them? I can give them 20% off and I can give them a free box of shakes. And I thought that was pretty daggone good, and so did they. So like I said, I'll put that graphic in here, or not in here because this is Zoom, but I'll figure out a way to share it so you guys can visually see what I'm talking about. But 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you as a promoter can sell a three-step pack for $188 retail, or you can give it to them for $150 plus a free box of shakes. I mean, it's just, I have literally, as you can tell, practiced that verbiage over and over and over and over, and it's working. So I hope that it helps you guys to practice that also. I always like to share what's working. Speaking of, we got a couple minutes. Who wants to share something that might be working for them? I'll be quiet for a minute. You can raise your hand. You can type it in the chat. You can unmute yourself, whatever floats your boat. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay being the one that shares. That's what we're here for. All right. So that's all my notes. That's everything I have. I hope and pray that this helped you tremendously. You guys, you have such an opportunity. We are for sure here in Ohio. No one's going back to work this upcoming week. So the way I look at that is that gives me a whole other week to keep going hard and strong. And, you know, one of the things I wrote down for my gratitude list tonight is I'm grateful I'm able to make an income. I'm truly grateful. We are all able to make an income right now. Even if you are still keeping your other job, you can still add to your income right now. And I'm also truly grateful that somehow genetically I'm like super scrappy. When the, you know, crap hits the fan, I have a way of being like, we can figure this out. And literally since this stay at home or whatever you want to call it, I think because I've been in business for so long and other businesses, not Lavelle, I know that when times are hard, it's the people who stick it out that excel at the end. I mean, you guys are going to see so many changes when we all get to go back out into the big world. You're going to see some businesses have completely converted into something else because they kept their doors open somehow. And that's you guys. I actually saw an ad today or yesterday for New Balance, you know, New Balance running shoes. I mean, New Balance, that's a big company. They've been around a long time. Guess what they're making? Medical grade masks. Yeah. So even somebody who makes an amazing running shoe that is very well known has transferred one of their factories over to make medical grade masks so they can stay up and running and they can be in the health and wellness department, which you guys, as I've said before, and I will say again, you're here. You're already here. You've been in the health and wellness department this whole time. So if you aren't working your business right now, you need to have a real hard look in the mirror and say, what am I waiting for? All right. So with that, you guys, thanks as always. Have a great Easter. Please do your reach outs. If you talk to 10 people tomorrow, don't go to bed till you talk to 10 more. Okay.